In today's video, we're going to turn a simple box into a little rig to help you put on your drone cords. Stay tuned. Well, hello, I'm Willis Bagpiper, and on this channel I make videos to make you a stronger and more confident piper. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, liking the video, commenting below with any thoughts you might have, but let's get on with the video. So my pipe band, Metroplex United, just ordered new drone cords for all of the pipes, and I want to do my best to try to make sure that all the drones are properly spaced and look good and sharp so we get maybe those dress and deportment points at the upcoming competitions. So how can we go about doing that? Well, you can always just use a simple ruler, but I wanted to see if maybe I could make up a little rig or jig or whatever you want to call it that can house the drones, that can keep them there spaced properly so that all the cords are the same throughout the entire band. So what I did, I took the priority rate box that it came in. I got some dimensions right here. So this is a, it's a 7.5 by 12.5 by 3, or that's around, what would that be? 19 centimeters by 32 centimeters by 7 3/4 centimeters box. I'm sure you have similar boxes over in Europe and overseas to these boxes right here. And if you're in the States, you've undoubtedly seen these boxes. So what I did, I took the box and I actually folded the flaps over and taped them down. I got some Gorilla Tape on here to give it just a little bit more stability on the top. And for me, I marked 6 3/4 inches between these divots. So I marked that on the box, then I marked down about 1 inch and then just drew on little V's with a Sharpie. And then for me, I took my Leatherman, which I use all the time, and I took the saw attachment, and probably for one of the first times, actually sawed these divots into the box. You could use a heavy-duty pair of scissors or whatever you need to do. And what's great is, once you have this box and that's in there, you can go ahead and notice your drones will stay in there just fine. I'm gonna just kind of hold them in place so you can see, boom. But they don't want to go anywhere. Notice I do have a stopper in this one. That is the middle drone. I always like to make sure that I keep the middle drone separated. And then from there, I'm going to use some zip ties. These are black cords. So the first one I'm going to do does not involve the box. And this is going to be now kind of a retread of my other video. So, but to space the outside tassel, I like to place the top of the tassel at the bottom of the drone top, and then just kind of mark with my fingers where the cord holders are. And this gives you a nicely proportioned tassel because it's the same length as the distance between the cord holder and the bottom. But do what works for you. You can use 6 inches. I've seen written down, I've seen some people as short as 3 inches. So that's looking really nice right there. I have the zip tie on there, nice and firm. So I'm going to go ahead and fit this entirely before I stick it in the box. So just put my other zip tie on here. Get it mostly snug, but not all the way down because I want to make sure that it's nice and even on both sides. And you want it snug, but not so tight that it's not going to let the drone spin in the cord holders. You want to be able to, as you see here, the drone is spinning and yet the cords aren't moving. Makes it easier to tune. So we'll get our box out. Get the cords. Boom, stick that right in there. Now I'm just going to stick the other drone top through there, and you can see, it's very nicely spaced. I'm going to grab a zip tie, put it on the outside of now the middle tenor to mark the distance here. And I'm not really worried about this cardboard doing any particular damage to the wood. It's, you know, pretty soft, and I'm not pushing down too hard. I thought about maybe trying to make one of these out of wood, and I was like, why go through all that trouble and effort when I could just use cardboard? Okay, so now I have the outside zip tie on there. It's nice and firm. These are nicely spaced. I can go and just attach the one in the middle. Get it mostly snug. Make sure it's even on there. And boom, I have perfectly spaced cords. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the outside and actually stick it just inside the box for right now while we fit this to the middle tenor. And then we'll be done with the box after this. So for this one, I'm going to put the mount just outside of the box. There we go. And then the other section, it's kind of more on the fatter section, rests in there. But let's make sure we kind of thread this through so it's on either side. And let's see. Let's actually take this and put it on the outside. That'll keep the... There we go. Now the cords are nice and level. I thought maybe being in the box would be good. But in the box, it was actually making these cords kind of sit up at an angle instead of being straight across. We want them straight across. Okay, get a couple zip ties ready. Now, this zip tie right here that I'm going to put on the outside of the middle tenor is the most important. This is the one that's going to have the most force on it. If you pull too tight, you can see it pulls it out. You don't want that. So kind of keep an eye on that as you pull this zip tie nice and taut. And now I can put the other zip tie on. Now for this base middle, I don't want to make it too tight. Most all pipes don't have cord holders for this middle section, and so I want the cords to be able to move up and down along this depending on what my posture is on the day. So this one's a little looser than the other ones. And there we go. And just like that, I have perfectly spaced drones right there. It's awesome. And this way I could replicate it over and over and over for every set of drones in the pipe band. Probably take 5-ish minutes per set of pipes. This is going quick already and I'm talking this whole time. I'm going to go ahead and just finish this up real quick on camera. For those of you that haven't seen the other video or don't want to have to go look it up, we might as well just do it all here. Only take another moment. So the next measurement we need to talk about with the cords is the outside. Now I like to, so put your base, top, and middle together with whatever spacing at the joint you normally use. And then from here, I'm going to take the bottom of the tassel at the bottom of the ferrule, and then I'm going to go back up to the cord holders, just like I kind of did on the outside. And now I know where the outside zip tie is going to be to keep this all tight. This gives you a nice bit to kind of tie into a nice little knot. Some cords are shorter and you might not have enough material to do this. You just have to take a look at your cords. These are just the standard silk cords you can get from just about anywhere. All right, so we have this and we know this is going to be the outside. Okay, we have this. We know this is going to be the outside of where this goes. Stick it in the cord holder. And then I'm just going to grab another zip tie around here. And then just take a look, trying to make sure it's as even as possible on either side. Okay, and then the only thing we have to do is take, so we have this little bit left here, and we have this here. We're going to wrap this around. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. So I can show it on the camera. I'm going to just tie a little simple kind of overhand style knot to hold. Keep that tassel from waving everywhere. And there we go. It's about 6 inches here. And the cords are perfectly spaced. Now all I have to do is cut all these extra zip tie bits and I'll be good to go. And using this lovely little jig, box thing, again, I'm going to be able to replicate this set to set to set. And you can set these grooves wherever you need to for you and what works for you. So anyways, I thought this was a neat little hack. It's super cheap. You might even have one of these boxes just sitting around. If not, you can get it from a post office readily enough, and it works great. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this little hack useful. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, maybe even head over to my Patreon, where a small monthly donation goes a really long way to helping me continue making these kind of videos. All right, my name is Matt Willis, and again, guys, until next time, cheers.